We're live from the Lumi booth at CHA. My name is Brittany and we make Inkodye. Inkodye is a fabric dye that develops its color in sunlight. So it allows you to make photographic prints using the sun, Inkodye, and on natural materials. So we're going to use a piece of 100% cotton here to show you a print. So you can do it on any natural absorbent material, cotton, silk, wool. It also works on materials like a poly blend, but just keep in mind that it really absorbs to the natural part of the material, so you get kind of a vintage feel to it when you do it on a poly blend. So I'm just going to apply the dye here onto our fabric, and I'm using our Inko cap roller head that just screws onto the bottle to make it really easy to apply. And as you can see, when the dye comes out of the bottle, it is translucent. So it has just a little bit of the color to it, but the sun is what's going to develop the color fully. So I'm just going to coat our material completely here. And if you wanted to have straight lines instead of some crazy lines like I'm doing here, you can always use some blue painter's tape to tape off your area and make straight lines as well. Here at CHA, we're just gonna get a little crafty and go kind of nuts here. And I'm just going to use a rag, or you could use a paper towel, to blot off any of the excess dye that might be pooling on the surface here. And you want the material to be wet to the touch, but you don't need it to be overly saturated. So here we go, it's nice and coated. And I'm just going to take a negative that we have here. It's a negative of Brigitte Bardot. And there's a couple different ways that you can make negatives. We have a product called Inko Film, which is an inkjet printable transparency where you can make your negatives at home. Here's the Inko Film. And these are 8.5 by 8.5 size, so they work in your home printer, your inkjet printer. There's also another way to make easy negatives, and that is our free iPhone app, where you can download the app, upload any image that you have from your phone to the app, and change it into a negative, and then order a 12 by 12 inch negative directly from us that we ship to your doorstep. So this negative is going to be utilized as sort of a place where certain areas are going to be blocked by the sunlight and other areas are going to allow sunlight through in order to print the photographic print. So we're going to use this, this UV source over here kind of as our simulated sun. Normally you'll want to leave the print out in the sun, direct sunlight, for about 10 minutes to get its full bright color and the full color potential. We're going to just leave it in for just a couple of minutes here, and I'll show you the progress of it. If you were to be in a cloudy area, maybe if you're not in Florida, then you can always leave it out for longer. So if it's cloudy outside, you can leave it out for 20 minutes, and you can leave it out for even longer. It's not as sensitive as traditional photography. So if you leave it out for another 10 minutes on a cloudy day, you're not going to have an overexposure and completely ruin your print. So that's also very helpful. We have 9 different colors in Inkodye right now, and they come in an 8-ounce bottle. 1 ounce of Inkodye will create a 12 by 12 inch print. So with that negative that you can order on the app, you can make 8 prints using 1 bottle. We also have a new product that's coming out, and it is our 1 ounce snap packs, which will be coming out in just a couple of months. They're in production right now. And this snap pack is a little pouch that has 1 ounce of Inkodye in it, where you can crack it in half. It's a rigid pouch, and the Inkodye comes out the back, and you can use the edge of that pouch in order to apply the Inkodye to your material as well. It's kind of like a little cosmetic pouch that you would get at maybe a Clinique booth or something like that, and we're bringing that into the art world to make it easy to sample the different colors that we have. So I'm just going to take the print out of our little sun over here just to show you its progress so far. Like I said, we used magenta, and I'm just going to peel this back so you can see what the print looks like so far. This has only been in there for a couple of minutes. You'd want to leave it in the sun for about 10 minutes to develop its full color potential. But you can see so far, this is what we have. Lovely Brigitte is on our piece of cotton. And there's just...
Can you use this on wood?
You can use it on wood, but you have to make sure that you scrub out the the excess dye, the undeveloped dye, really, really well. You also want to make sure that you use uncoated wood, because it's just the wood, the natural material, that will absorb the Inkodye and hold on to that. So if it has any type of surface on top of it, any polyurethane or anything like that, I think that's what you put on wood. I don't know too much about woodwork. Then that would resist the dye. So another technique that you can use Inkodye with is shadow printing. So with shadow printing, all you have to do is coat Inkodye on the surface of a material, and you can lay objects down in order to block the sunlight. So any object will make, any flat object onto the surface will make a beautiful print. So here we have some safety pins that we made a print on this pouch. This new kit will be shipping in March, and it comes with this canvas pouch. We have an example of it right here. It's a zippered pouch, and you can also use things like leaves or flowers, lace, plastic doilies to put them down on there to make a beautiful pattern as well. You can use a whole bunch of different things to make your own graphics. So you don't have to just do photography when you print with this product. We also have another new kit that's coming out. It's our Sunfold kit. And you can make beautiful, it's almost like tie-dye, but better. You don't have to tie anything. You just soak your material. So let's say you took a silk scarf and you soak it in Inkodye, and then you bunch it up in different ways, making different patterns, take it outside and develop the color in the sunlight. Then when you come back in and you pull out your folds, you have beautiful beautiful sunfold print on your material as well, so without using a negative. There's just one last step in the process after you bring your print back inside, and you either peel the negative back or you pull out your folds. You throw it in the wash machine with Inkowash, our industrial strength detergent, to get any of the excess dye, any of the undeveloped dye out of the material, and then it's permanent. And then you can wash it over and over again. It's not going to fade. You can wash it with your regular laundry, and it won't bleed into your other laundry, and then you're done.